Elias lived in fear. Not the ordinary kind, his fear was a constant companion, an ever-present shadow that followed him everywhere he went. His fear was a monster, a shapeshifter. It took on many forms, each more terrifying than the last. It lurked in shadows, whispered in the wind, morphed into his darkest nightmares. No matter where he turned, it was always there, waiting. His mind a breeding ground for terrors unseen. Every thought, every memory twisted into something sinister.
I was a prisoner in my own mind, trapped by my thoughts, unable to escape the horrors they conjured. Every shadow held a threat, every flicker of light, a potential danger, every corner a lurking beast. I couldn't trust my own senses, couldn't distinguish between reality and the nightmares my mind created. The creak of a floorboard, a whispered warning, every sound, every movement amplified by my fear. My heart pounded a frantic rhythm against my ribs, each beat a reminder of the terror that consumed me. My breath caught in my throat, a strangled gasp. I felt like I was drowning, suffocating under the weight of my own fear.
Sleep offered no escape. The darkness of night only intensified his fears. Nightmares plagued him, vivid and relentless, each one more horrifying than the last, leaving him more exhausted than before. He'd wake drenched in sweat, heart hammering, the echoes of terror clinging to him. The line between dream and reality blurred, making it impossible to find peace. He was adrift in a sea of fear with no land in sight. The vast emptiness around him mirrored the void within, a never-ending expanse of dread and despair. Time seemed to stretch endlessly, each moment an eternity of fear. The days blended into nights, a continuous cycle of anxiety and terror. Even the rain, once a source of comfort, now seemed ominous. Each drop a reminder of the storm raging within him. He sought help, hoping to find a way out of the darkness. But the path to healing was long and fraught with challenges. Slowly, he learned to face his fears, to confront the monsters that haunted him. It was a journey of small victories, each step forward a testament to his strength. And though the shadows still lingered, he found moments of light, glimpses of hope that guided him through the darkness. His home, a reflection of his inner turmoil, walls lined with security systems, a barricade against the imagined threats. Every window, a watchful eye peering into the night, his sanctuary, a prison of his own making.
Social interactions were a minefield. Every smile felt like a judgment, every conversation a potential trap. I avoided people, their gazes, their laughter. Loneliness became my constant companion, a bitter comfort in my self-imposed isolation.
He craved connection but feared rejection. He longed for normalcy, a life free from the tyranny of his own mind. But fear, like a cruel jailer, kept him shackled. One stormy evening, a knock echoed through his silent house. Fear, sharp and cold, gripped him. He froze, every instinct screaming at him to ignore it. But the knock came again, insistent, demanding. He peered through the peephole, his heart pounding.
An old man stood on my porch, his face weathered by time, his eyes filled with a strange knowing. I hesitated, fear battling with a flicker of curiosity. I opened the door, a sliver at first.
Evening, Elias. Mind if I come in? We need to talk.
The old man, a beacon in Elias's darkness, he spoke of fear, not as an enemy, but as a teacher.
Fear is energy, raw and powerful.
Elias listened, skeptical but intrigued.
Your imagination, Elias. It's a gift. You've let it control you, but you can learn to control it.
He spoke of visualization, of harnessing the power of the mind, of turning fear into fuel, anxiety into action. Elias, for the first time, felt a glimmer of hope. Section 5, Facing the Shadows. The journey was arduous. He started small, facing his fears one at a time. Each fear conquered, a victory.
I learned to question my thoughts, to challenge the monsters in my mind.
He ventured outside more, braving the world beyond his front door. He started with short walks, his heart pounding with each step. Gradually, he went further, stayed longer.
I even tried talking to people, short interactions at first. I felt the familiar fear rise, but I pushed through it.
To his surprise, people responded not with judgment, but with kindness. Section 6, A World Reborn. The world, once a source of terror, slowly transformed. Colors seemed brighter, sounds sharper. He started to notice the beauty around him, the simple joys he had missed.
I began to find pleasure in the company of others. I joined a book club, my love for stories a bridge to connection.
He discovered the joy of shared laughter, the comfort of genuine companionship. He was still afraid, but now fear was not his master. It was a companion, a guide.
I had learned to listen to it, to understand its message, and then to choose my own path.
Section 7. The gift of imagination. His imagination, once a curse, became his greatest ally. He used it to envision possibilities, to dream big dreams.
I started writing again, my stories filled with the vivid imagery of my once fearful mind. I wrote about courage, about hope, about the power of the human spirit to overcome even the darkest fears.
His words resonated with others, offering solace and inspiration. He realized that his struggles had given him a unique perspective, a depth of understanding that resonated with others who battled their own demons.
My pain had become my purpose.
Section 8. Embracing the unknown. Section 9. The courage to dream.
He allowed himself to dream again. Dreams he had buried deep within himself, afraid to even acknowledge their existence. Dreams of love, of family, of leaving his mark on the world. He opened his heart to the possibility of love, tentatively at first, then with growing confidence. He met someone, a woman who saw him, truly saw him, and loved him for the complex, courageous man he had become. He realized that true strength wasn't the absence of fear, but the courage to feel it fully and still choose to live a life full of love, joy, and purpose.
Section 10. The triumph of hope. This is a story of resilience, of overcoming the odds and of finding light in the darkest of times.
Hope, once a distant flicker, now burned brightly within him. It was a small, almost imperceptible spark that grew with each passing day, fueled by his determination and unwavering belief in a better tomorrow. He had stared into the abyss of his own fear and emerged stronger, wiser, more compassionate. The journey was not easy. It was fraught with challenges and moments of doubt. But each obstacle he faced only served to strengthen his resolve. He dedicated his life to helping others find their own way out of the darkness. He knew firsthand the power of a helping hand, a kind word, a gesture of support. He became a mentor, a guide, a source of inspiration for those who were struggling. He shared his story, his struggles, his triumphs. He spoke openly about his fears and how he overcame them, hoping to ignite the same spark of hope in others. His words resonated deeply, touching the hearts of many. He became a beacon of hope for those who felt lost and alone in their own fears. His journey was a testament to the power of hope and the human spirit's capacity for resilience. People began to see that if he could overcome his struggles, they could too. He had learned that even in the darkest of times, hope could bloom. It was a lesson he carried with him always, a reminder that no matter how bleak things seemed, there was always a glimmer of light waiting to be found. That even the most wounded heart could heal and find love. He saw beauty in the brokenness, understanding that scars were not a sign of weakness but of strength and survival. That even the wildest imagination could be tamed and transformed into a force for good. Creativity became his outlet, a way to channel his emotions and experiences into something meaningful and impactful. Through his art, he continued to inspire and uplift those around him, proving that hope, once kindled, could illuminate even the darkest corners of the soul.
Section 11. From fear to freedom.
Elias, once a prisoner of his own fear, was now free. He had spent years trapped in a cycle of doubt and anxiety, unable to see a way out. But through perseverance and inner strength, he found the light at the end of the tunnel, free to live, to love, to dream. He embraced the beauty of the world around him, cherishing every moment with a newfound appreciation. The simple joys of life, once overshadowed by fear, now brought him immense happiness. His journey was a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, the transformative power of hope. Each step he took was a victory, each challenge he faced a lesson. The support of those around him fueled his determination, reminding him that he was never alone. He had not simply conquered his fears, he had befriended them, learned from them, and ultimately transcended them. Through meditation and self-reflection, he discovered the roots of his anxieties and turned them into sources of strength and wisdom. He had turned his greatest weakness into his greatest strength. The obstacles that once seemed insurmountable were now stepping stones to his success. Each victory, no matter how small, was a testament to his growth and resilience. His story was a reminder that within each of us lies the power to overcome any obstacle, to heal any wound, to achieve anything we set our minds to. The journey of self-discovery and empowerment is one that we all can embark on, regardless of our past or present circumstances. We just need to find the courage to face our fears and embrace the infinite possibilities that lie within. By believing in ourselves and taking that first step, we open the door to a world of endless opportunities and boundless potential.